Now, the number of snake bites has spiked around Australia as the warmer weather continues. Tragically, a 6-year-old girl has died after being bitten by a brown snake in country New South Wales near the town of Walgett.
And a Gold Coast man is lucky to be alive. He was airlifted to safety after being bitten twice while hiking in the Springbrook National Park with his sister, Amanda.
She sat me down quickly and held me still so I don't move around and compressed bandages around the bite mark.
After the initial treatment was applied, the pair waited more than 8 hours for help to arrive at their remote location.
Wow. Joining us is a snake bite hero, Amanda, and from St John's Ambulance, Josh, and also Gary. Now, Amanda, first to you. When you first realised your brother was bitten not once but twice, what was the first thing you did?
The first thing that I did was, secretly I panicked, but then I knew I had to sit him down, get the bandages out, compress the wound. I then also used my hoodie as additional compression bandages and just made sure that he was still, made sure that he showed no symptoms, that he was still breathing. And I immediately called 000, which were really great, and they spoke me through the process as well as just making sure that he remains calm and that I remain calm. So it was quite a scary ordeal.
You were great.
He was very lucky you were there and you knew what to do, vaguely. Josh, for anyone who finds themselves in a similar situation, you're here, you're going to show us how to properly treat a snake bite while you wait for help.
Absolutely. Good morning, Sam. How are you? So one of the first things we need to understand is that the venom of a snake doesn't actually travel through the blood system. That's a bit of a myth. It actually travels through the lymphatic system. So we don't apply tourniquet.
What's the difference?
So the difference is the circulatory system or the blood system has that pump, which is our heart. The lymphatic system works on muscle contraction and movement. So as I move my fingers in my arm, the muscles in my arm move. And if you think about the toothpaste tube at home, to get that last bit out of the end, you squeeze the end and roll it up. If I want to move the fluid in my lymphatic system up my arm, if I wiggle my fingers or my arms, the venom moves up.
So, first thing, don't move.
Absolutely.
Too much.
Immobilisation. That's the key. So it's, Koshi, you've been bitten on the arm. What I need you to do is just keep your arm down for me. Keep it, just relax. Just keep it nice and still for me. What we're going to do is we're going to apply direct pressure over the bite site. So think about dishwashing sponge. So if you put a sponge in, this is our sponge, in water, what's the sponge going to do with the water? Absorb that water. If I squeeze that sponge, what happens to the water inside the sponge? Comes out. If I apply that pressure and then submerge it in water and let go, has that sponge absorbed much water?
No.
It's the same principle with the snake bite. So, what we're going to do...
He's confused already.
Don't forget I've been bitten, I'm a bit hysterical.
So I'm now going to apply, first off, is there any danger? Where's the snake gone, Koshi?
It's paid off.
Wonderful.
And should you try, so you go, Josh, as you, should you try and find out what sort of snake it was? Don't touch it, of course.
Look, don't touch it, of course. If the person knows that may assist the hospital, but at the end of the day, they're going to be able to identify from the antivenin and test the area.
Because there's a snake, Gary, identity kit or something in the hospitals, isn't
yes,
there?
Yes, there is. So it's specific to the basically to the snake type, and that ID the snake off that. So some people might take a photograph with their iPhone. It's a nice, simple trick. Obviously, you want to avoid getting too close to it, but if it's easy to take a picture, you can ID it.
So one bandage over the bite and then another bandage over the whole limb.
Correct. So the first bandage is applying that direct pressure to that spongy tissue, because that's what the tissue is in the lymphatic system, and then we're working away from the furthest point on the body, working towards the body, as you can see, all the way up as high as we possibly can go. And then what we're going to do, Koshi, just bring your arm down. I want you to keep it nice and still and relax, and also make sure that, as you can see, we haven't cut the circulation off on the hand. Because remember, the venom's not in the blood system, it's in the tissues, which are a sponge, so we want to help reduce the absorption with the pressure immobilisation.
So don't wriggle your fingers, otherwise they'll get further up and stuff like that.
Calm, and I'll call for help.
Relax.
I will be.
And of course, absolutely, call 000.
Okay, well, just here's a reminder of what not to do at home. Do not wash off the venom. Do not cut the bitten area like we were all taught as kids. Do not try to suck the venom out. Don't do that. Do not use a tourniquet. Do not, for God's sake, try to catch the snake. Okay?
Wow. Guys, thank you for that.
Thanks,
Really
Gary.
appreciate it.
Thank you
We
very
should all know that, shouldn't we?
Definitely. Even in the cities these days.